production for our message, brother.
Nah. I have like I didn't realize it till the other day, but I have like 140 videos or something.
Nice, man.
And like half of them they're just me talking, and I like really love them. I connect to them. And then like there's some that are just goofy and ridiculous, and I love them. And like my whole channel's been like a baby, like a project.
Yeah, you've done really well, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wish people could get onto your stuff.
Man, I just don't put the energy into it, and I understand it, but it finds the right people. I don't need anything massive. If I can touch one life,
Yeah,
because at the beginning, it was a struggle for me, balancing social media and stuff. So I had to scale it down and kind of redirect my energy
yeah,
elsewhere. So
yeah. I
in due
feel
time,
that.
man, I know the message needs to be heard. So if I stay consistent and keep faith, it'll get where it needs to get, wherever that may be.
Yeah, because that message is gonna sit there forever. I mean, until the internet's gone.
Right.
And somebody somewhere is sitting there in their house wondering why the heck they feel like they do, and they're gonna realize somebody else does, and this guy figured it out. He knows what. Maybe he made the mistakes. He knows what's going on, and I think it could be very valuable.
I believe so too, man. I truly do, and that's why I continue to do it. And, I don't really have an end goal for it. Just divinely feel like sharing myself and my journey to just hold a mirror for others, like you said.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, do I have an end goal? And like I'm fighting against an ancient ego. There was a person when I was younger who was captain of the football team and wanted to go be the boss at college and thinking I was a thug and everything. And like then I went in the military and all that good stuff, but I calmed down a few years ago, and sometimes I wonder, do I want my channel to get really big or not? I feel like I don't. But
Right.
every now and again, you start wondering what would happen, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that I've matured enough that I never make, any mistakes, and I do well, but that's impossible, I guess, to not make any.
Then you'll never learn.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
that would be a pretty easy life.
Yeah.
It's good cruise control if you don't make mistakes.
Yeah. It's just like, I guess internally I hate money, and I hate the system that we use. But I also want it for the ease and the peace and the luxury a little bit for my family. Nothing like crazy, but I just want our life to not be hard.
Right.
And I think anybody wants that, but then again, I'm trying to move even further past all this to a true, deeper not needing. And sometimes I catch myself with the ego going.
But, hey, it happens to everybody, and I think just having the awareness of when the ego starts to get out of balance is really a powerful thing, because the ego will never go away.
Yeah.
I feel the same way as you did for the longest time. I was like, man, it would be sweet to have all these followers and make this huge impact. It just started bearing so much weight, and then I started thinking, what happens? What are your plans if it does happen? If one morning you wake up and you have 1 million viewers because of one video, it's like, oh shit.
I don't want that. I don't think.
The pressure's on now. Shit. A lot. If you want to take on that role, obviously you have the option. You always have a choice, but to call it in and then shun it away, the universe can be like, all right, asshole.
Yeah.
You called this in and now you're turning it away. What's up with that? So.
Yeah, I think it's just super important we stick to what our core is. And before the camera started, we were talking about me watching my old videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when I watch those, I remember why I started. And that's what I want. And I still feel that way. I really want to go into someone's mind and just show them care and comfort and peace, and to know that your suffering, it's not really just suffering. It's teaching. It's learning. It's what you need right now. But we love you. That's like Be Still Voice Works if I could name it. We
Yeah.
love you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think one thing with my channel, and I know I've kept my pure of heart, and I just want to really reflect and connect with people and meet people where they are, because it's so easy as somebody that studies different modalities and energy and consciousness to start slapping labels and dropping different names and sound like you know it all.
Yeah.
But that, I feel like, is doing the people the greatest injustice that need the help the most.
Right.
You know, we're not meeting people where they are. We're laying out all of our fancy awakening jargon, if you will. And people are like, what the fuck are these people talking about? And it's creating this mass hysteria. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm supposed to be going to this different earth, and my vibration. I didn't even know I vibrated. It's
Yeah.
like, so my aim is just to really put into layman terms those things and meet people where they are right now. And as the collective consciousness continues to grow and people start to become consciously aware of how they and the things they do and the diet they take in,
Yeah.
then you start dropping the labels and start teaching people the ancient technique step by step, and that's what I think a lot of people do with their channels is they're not are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't ever name drop anyone, but a lot of people are. It's an act to be this way.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I'm sure even with you, we have found ourselves being in an act at one time or another. So I understand, but also I want to reach a point in my own enlightenment, whatever that word really means to anybody. But I want to take the person, Destin, that I know from everything that I ever thought, that's wrong, don't do that, but I did it anyway. The real guy who said, don't do it. That's the person that I want to blend in to who I am outside.
Mm.
And that's what I've been seeking for a long time.
Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult to hold yourself accountable when really only you truly know.
Yeah.
How you feel and how you're thinking, because it's easy to put on any mask you want me to,
Right. Yeah.
And as men that have lived from our ego most of our life, we know that putting on a tough mask is a very easy thing to do for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was in the honor guard. That was my job, was to put on a tough mask.
Yeah.
No emotion. Don't move. Don't move if it's 1,000 degrees outside. You stand right there. And if you pass out, you better lay there and be dead.
Right. You better still.
Yeah. Oh man.
I understand, man.
Yeah. It's weird. Everything in life is weird. In a good way.
Very beautiful and empowering way for sure.
And you have to look at it from a certain angle. Or multiple, maybe.
Yeah, or be open to all angles, really.
Yeah. Or have none. No angle at all, I guess.
Right.
I feel like, you ever watch Sadhguru?
I'm sorry?
You ever watch Sadhguru?
Uh-uh.
He's this Indian mystic. And sometimes, I say stuff and I hear him, he does these things where he makes you feel dumb, but it's, hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to watch it.
You'll have to send me a link, brother.
Yeah, he was a businessman, and he was treating people bad at his job. And he went up to this place called Calgary Hill, I think. It's like a mountain in India where he lived. And he sat down on this rock, and he was just sitting there. And then he had a near-death experience, like I had in my car accident. And he said during that time, he got really blissful and was crying with ecstasy and all this stuff. But it was 4 hours when he opened his eyes again. He didn't realize it, but he sat there for 4 hours. And then he sort of turned his whole life into meditation and teaching, and opened the Isha Foundation. And they take in people. They have a huge ashram, and they planted 33 million trees in the past 5 years. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, he's cool.
They call him the side guru.
Sadhguru, yeah. Sadhguru.
I have to check him out for sure. That sounds like a beautiful movement he's
Yeah,
leading.
it means the uneducated guru. He's didn't do well in school. Like he claims to be completely uneducated, but he's super smart.
Huh. That sounds a bit like me. I had to finish high school my summer after my senior year because I had a little bit of a beat off in high school, knowing I was joining the military.
Yeah, but then that
September 11th happened my sophomore year, so it was like, okay, I'm going to the Marines. I'm going to live my college years up now while I'm
yeah,
so,
yeah.
I did do the best in school.
September 11th, I was in 6th grade, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And we watched on the TV, and then later, we went to war in 2010. Something, I think that was Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I don't remember actually. Operation Enduring Freedom.
I believe it started earlier than that. 2008 maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's right. 2008. I joined in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just trying to remember what, because something drove me to it. There was some deployment or some war that drove me to go join it.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
probably freedom.
Yeah. Interesting times, military.
Yeah, I had actually, I had gotten off active duty at that point. I was in the police academy when you joined.
Wow.
Making me feel old.
Nah. It's just my experiences in a different lens.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I miss it. I still remember the Honor Guard Creed, and I say it a lot in my head.
I remember you sharing in the men's group.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I can't help it. Sometimes I just think about it because it did mean a lot.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was your Creed. How long? 4 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I was a distinguished graduate from my training class, and I stayed in the Honor Guard extra time. I was supposed to go back to my unit.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. I was like, nah, just leave me here.
Yeah. That's awesome, brother.
Yeah. Well, anything on your mind?
Yeah. What do you think about the men's group so far, man? I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
I know you run.
I want to give my comment. Can you tell everybody what it is?
Okay, so Lights at the Round Table is a group that we started on Facebook, and you are a big part of that as well. But it's a men's group geared towards creating a space for veterans and other men alike that are unaccustomed to letting their guard down.
Yeah.
Sharing their feelings and being vulnerable and leaning on other people instead of internalizing. So what the Facebook group does is just create a space for men to openly share whatever they have going on in their life, whether it be relationship issues, parenting issues, you know, the list is infinite. You know, whatever somebody feels compelled to share. You've shared some really beautiful things and some vulnerabilities, and I'm grateful for you taking charge and showing men that it's okay. So I'm super grateful for you for that.
Yeah. And it's a hard thing for some people.
For a lot of people,
yeah.
Man, it's very difficult. You know, it's shunned upon in our society for the longest time, and I think we're starting to move in the right direction.
Yeah.
And to unlock some empathetic genes that we've had laid dormant for quite some time in our human evolution. But yeah, it's very difficult, and it's just a product of the ego, you know, protecting self from judgment.
Yeah.
Because we judge ourselves so harshly, and we're our own worst critics, and we're supposed to be our biggest fans, you know.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, the group. You know, at first there was almost no, like real stuff coming out, right? At first, and I've seen it like completely unfold. Like I've backed off a little bit from posting on there, and I see all kinds of different guys posting now. They're making videos, which is really intimate, actually. So I feel like it's really nice. It's helping them come out to whatever capacity they're able to now and to help them move forward into whatever's next. I think it's a good thing. I really like it.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, it was hard. I wasn't, I don't know, my dad wasn't really into it, emotions, you know?
Yeah.
But I was always super sensitive.
Hmm.
And it felt like I got berated almost for being sensitive, you know? Um,
Yeah.
and it was weird because I was a big guy. I'm about 6'3", 240.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I liked certain movies. I wanted to go read in the library, but I was also wanted to play football. And
Right.
I didn't fit in anywhere, and I always had emotions, and I always cared for people, and I always tried to do whatever I possibly could to make everybody happy. And as an empath, that's a huge pitfall, like a huge trap, you know?
Yeah.
But it's important to share what we're really feeling, because if we continue to lie to each other, we don't know what life really is, because we think each guy who did this and did that was amazing and perfect. It's just like looking at a magazine and seeing somebody who's in perfect shape because you photoshopped them. You can't photoshop your life. You got to tell other men what life really is. This is how I think. You know what? I do think about stabbing somebody with a knife sometimes, and I see it in my head. I have that anger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's okay. But that's not a thing. That's just a thought. It comes and goes.
Right.
That's not real. Your real thoughts are what you actually think about that. You're like, okay, I'm done with that now, right?
Right.
And that's just an example. There's a lot of things as men that we pretend that we don't have, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's important for you to help them share that.
I think so too. And I also have been blessed with a bunch of members from the group that are local, and we've had two meetings now. The first meeting was kind of an informal, get to know everybody, just get comfortable kind of thing, and had about 10 people show up, and then had about the same number show up the following meeting.
That's a pretty huge first meeting, though.
Yeah, I think so too. It's something you just started, uh, from a random thought of how can I transform my service from the military and my service from law enforcement to a heart-centered service of where I can help somebody. Because, I'm sure you feel the same way. You've been called to service all your life. And now it's just transformed into a more spiritually guided and heart-centered guided service field. And
Yeah.
so thinking about that, I just kind of, I was actually able to be a part of a men's group that helped me in my transformation and helped me open up to my subconscious and really figure out who the hell I was after I had crumbled from some events that had happened in my life. So yeah, the second group, we sat in a circle and we shared openly. We shared about suicidal tendencies within our children, and there were a couple guys that could relate with that. Relationship issues, and just all these issues we face as men that nobody talks about because we want to put on this mask of I have a perfect family and a perfect house, a perfect dog, and a perfect, life. And it's just
Yeah.
nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
So it's been really beautiful.
That's good. And you were saying that all this has helped you figure out who you are. So I want to ask you the real question. Who are you?
I'm a servant of the light, brother.
Yeah.
A servant of the light, for sure, man. Um, I've built a relationship with God and my higher self and my guides and my Father that's in the spiritual realm. And I have no doubt in my mind that I'm here to plant seeds of consciousness and reawaken as many spirits as I can and help us evolve as humans with wisdom and sharing my vulnerabilities and sharing just my experience and connecting with people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I really like who you feel that you are, you know. And it's important that you establish who you are, I think,
Absolutely.
within yourself. So,
Absolutely.
You know what's
And boundaries, brother. Boundaries. If you don't know who you are, how are you going to establish your boundaries?
Yeah, 100%. Because if you sway one way or the other all the time, you never have any boundaries.
Exactly.
You know, boundaries is something that I've never been able to do almost. It's super hard for me because as soon as somebody does something wrong or whatever, I forgive them almost immediately. And so then it's really hard for me to say I actually forgive somebody and then to maintain a boundary. And it took me a lot to understand that I'm breaking my own trust if I don't establish the boundaries. You know, I'm not doing justice to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that. And I'm reading a Jordan Peterson book. I don't know if you're familiar, but he's a psychologist and he's wrote the 12 rules of life or 12, I don't know, but he talks about that and talks about boundaries and how people lack boundaries and
Yeah,
because of identity and lack of understanding who the hell we are.
yeah, definitely.
And go ahead, brother.
Yesterday I was thinking about like the pursuit of happiness. You know,
Yeah.
the phrase pursuit of happiness. And it's almost like it's an impossibility right there in that statement. Pursuit of happiness.
Yeah,
That
if you're pursuing it, you can't be happy. Huh?
that's not achieving it. Instead, you have to be happy in every single moment where you are right now. Because this is actually the moment you've been waiting for.
Right.
It's always the same moment to you, right? In your experience, it's always the same day. The sun goes around the earth in outer space. We said that's a day, right?
Right.
So it's always been the same in time since you were born. It's up to us to be happy right now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if we're pursuing that and we think that it's somewhere down the end, like life is a race, we might as well just finish it now and be the winner. You know?
Yeah. I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I enjoy that perspective for sure, brother.
It's, I used to do this exercise where I would think about every single thing I did. And I mean everything. So I would say it in my head. I'd be like, left arm reaching over to the microphone, pointer finger touching microphone, it feels bumpy, moving arm back and setting it down on leg. And I would do this, and I would try to do it as long as possible. I started out only being able to do it for like 60 seconds before my attention just drifts away. And then I was able to do it for like 5 minutes, and then like 10 minutes. And then eventually I got to where, not all the time, but I'm thinking about everything.
Yeah.
You know, so I have a better memory than ever. I used to have a really bad
That's,
memory.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't have the discipline to do those kind of practices that basically self program.
yeah.
That's all.
I barely had the ability to do it. Barely.
Oh, but you're working on it. That's the important thing.
Yeah,
The awareness that you have the ability if you just put in the practice.
for sure. Yeah, you can totally. I mean, this is a machine. Your personality and your mood are different things, right? And
Mhm.
who you actually are. Your mood is affected by how this machine is operating, what you've put in it, how you've been treating it. You know, how lubricated the parts are. But your personality is different. It's always there. You can control how you react and how you are in life at all times. When something comes, you see it, you take a step back in your mind, you figure out what the real situation is, what's going on around you, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and then you do that thing. You just act right. You don't compulsively do anything.
Yeah.
And that's when you have control of your life and you really are living it. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As as the observer.
Yeah. Sorry, I went a
For
little
sure.
weird and took over. I didn't mean to go crazy.
No, you're good, brother. I think Joe Dispenza says your personality creates your personal reality.
That's true.
And it's like, when I read that, I've read a couple of his books now, and it's like, never thought of it like that. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we grow up thinking that the universe, everybody around us is our reality. What they're doing, we're doing it. That's our reality. But for me, we grew up I would go home after school and didn't really go anywhere ever. So it was just me and my sister. So like I didn't have that. I have a separation from people in real life. Like I'm talking to you on here, but I'm kind of a hermit.
Yeah.
I go to work and I'm the lead technician there, so I guess I do personality stuff fine, but I like to be at home and be alone. And so I never had that kind of identity with everybody else. So I was okay being weird and being different.
Yeah. See, I come from the opposite background, brother. I've been an extrovert all my life.
Yeah.
I always like to be the funny guy at the party and making the joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I lived an ego-driven life my whole life because from the moment I was 4 years old, I was playing 3 sports and ball field, and I played with some really competitive, athletic guys. I went on to play college ball in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
When you get winning ingrained in you for 3 sports seasons a year, it's tough to break, man, and especially when you follow it up with the Corps and then law enforcement. It's like, damn, I got some unprogramming to do. I better factory reset this thing.
Yeah. I've fallen into like a weird groove with that, actually. Because I played college football and I played for the Atlanta Sharks arena football team.
Hell yeah, dude.
But and I was in the military, and I got like 99s on my PT test, and I was PTL, which is the physical training leader. And so my knees.
A lot of fun, brother.
Yeah, my knees, dude. I have no ACL. I tore my ACL in my left leg, got it fixed in the Air Force, tore it in my right 2 weeks after I got out, and then I tore it in my left a few weeks ago. Or whenever I told you about it. But, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. I've gotten addicted to climbing.
So that's pretty good vice, pretty healthy vice, maybe a little dangerous, but what vice is?
It's just, that feeling when you were a superstar? Inside. I took my pull-ups from about 4 pull-ups is all I could do. Now I can do over 20. Since January. So,
that's awesome, man. What have you been doing? Just climbing?
No, I do very little actual climbing.
Okay.
I got one of these little pull-up things for the door, right?
Yeah.
But this one's cool. It has has this one, and it's got this curved piece. You can hang on it, and when you set it on the ground, you can also do close grip push-ups, wide grip push-ups. And then you can put it on your feet. You can put it on your feet and use it as a ab thing. So every single night, I just do as many as possible, and I hang there as long as I can. But for my job, I move 40-foot ladders around house all day long. So I'm installing like flashing behind gutters and putting gutter guards on and like getting squirrels out of attics and building cages and like so all day I'm just kind of doing rock climbing. Yeah. So hand
strength and forearm strength, man.
Yeah, it helps me be a better technician in my job.
For sure, man. For sure, it's perfect.
But the grip strength thing, I break glasses without knowing about it, and like my wife hates that.
It's like a mice and men with Lenny and these two strong.
I just don't have feeling. I have no feeling in my hands. So I can't tell how hard sometimes I'm grabbing stuff. And so I'll grab a glass and just go to put it down and just like smash it. And like it's only happened like 4 times, but that's a lot.
That's 4 more than me, bro.
Oh my god. Well, we're hitting 30 minutes, which is where I have to keep it on YouTube for it to stay in the algorithm.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to go eat some Chinese food.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate it. I really do.
Hey, let's make it a regular thing, man.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't mind at least once a month.
For sure.
And I'll edit it and get the sound quality good, and any parts that I was too stupid, I might cut it out. I don't know.
Hey, give yourself grace, brother. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It makes me, open up about myself, which is what you're good at. So.
Thank you, brother.